If your car is acting like it has a mind of its own and stalling out at the worst possible time, you might be dealing with a code P2268. This is a diagnostic trouble code that pops up when your engine control module detects an intermittent issue with the water in fuel sensor circuit, also known as the fuel composition circuit. Think of this sensor as a gatekeeper that watches every drop of fuel to make sure water or too much ethanol doesn't ruin your day. When it starts sending glitchy signals, your check engine light or a specific water in fuel warning light will glow on your dashboard. You might notice the engine misfiring or simply refusing to start when you are headed to work in the morning. Since this code is generic, it applies to everything from a Ford and Dodge to a Mercedes or Land Rover, though the way you fix it depends on your specific truck or car. The sensor actually measures fuel temperature and converts it into a voltage pulse width for the power control module to read so the engine can adjust timing for the best miles per gallon. If you ignore this, you risk serious damage to your fuel injectors or internal engine parts. To start troubleshooting, you should look up technical service bulletins for your exact year and model to see if there is a known factory fix. Next, you need to check your maintenance records to see when you last changed that fuel filter. A dirty filter or contaminated gas are the most common culprits. You can actually pull a sample of fuel into a glass jar and let it sit for a few minutes to see if water separates and settles at the bottom. If the fuel looks clean, move on to the wiring. You will usually find the sensor mounted right on top of the fuel tank or near the fuel rail. Look for any wires that are rubbing against the frame or have burnt spots, and check the connectors for green corrosion or bent pins. If you have a digital multimeter, you should see about 5 volts coming from the power control module. If you have access to an oscilloscope, you want to see a frequency between 50 and 150 Hz, where 50 means the fuel is clean and 150 means you have a major contamination problem. If you find zero continuity during your resistance check, you have a short that needs a repair. Common fixes include replacing the sensor or the filter and cleaning the connectors. If you are not comfortable working around fuel lines, or if the wiring looks like a spider web of issues, it is time to head to a professional shop to avoid further damage. Stay safe out there and keep those fuel lines clear.